when you're talking about a flyer or even a postcard for the most part, it's almost more so like you're trying to do a quick announcement of some kind or just a really quick piece to hand out just to get some general information out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the FIP Printing Pros podcast. I'm your host, Josh Steinison. And again, we're continuing the series on going over some different educational items on just helping you in the process of ordering. Again, I'm doing this solo again without my co-host again on this episode. He'll be back next episode. And this will also wrap up the series of all these different topics. And again, in the comments, if there's anything we didn't cover in any of these 10 episodes that you feel would help you and have a little bit more educational resource and just something I could create that puts a video together to help somebody else maybe even in the future, please comment in the comment section, and I would love to hear that so we can best help people the way best we can. Today, what we're going to be talking about, though, is basically all your different marketing materials and even like how to best utilize the mailing side of things. This is a topic that not a lot of people know too much about, and we have to really educate them a lot on. And even, I'll be honest, like even we're still learning some things. When you're dealing with USPS and Postal Service, there's just a lot of different things that you have to kind of face whenever you're talking about mailing different things. But let's start off basically kind of breaking down kind of the main things, really to understand when you're trying to choose what type of printing materials to do, whether it's like a flyer, brochure, or a postcard type of thing, like what one to choose and why. When you're talking about a flyer or even a postcard for the most part, it's almost more so like you're trying to do a quick announcement of some kind or just a really quick piece to hand out just to get some general information out. Nothing too crazy or in depth usually. It's very, very quick and put together. Whereas a brochure, a lot of times you're taking them on a journey, you're storytelling like the different things that maybe you are legitimately telling a story within the brochure, the background of maybe the owner, the company, maybe the mission that you have, or just in general, like say for us, like on a brochure, what we've done is, we have so many different offerings because we have printing, promotional apparel, signs, banners, mailing services, all the different stuff. So we have to categorize it in a journey throughout the whole brochure. Whereas if you throw it on just one paper of a flyer, it can be convoluted a little bit. At least a brochure, you kind of split it up in panels. It kind of just gives that little bit of a separation. It makes it a little easier. And that's kind of, I guess, the easy way to explain it. I will say that it is a little easier to do a postcard for a mailing. And also you have, as far as it's a little cheaper, because with a postcard, it's just print it. Pretty much you put your little indicia for the mailing, the post office, and then you can just mail it out directly. Whereas if you do like a brochure or anything like that, we have to actually put special tabs on them to secure them so they don't unfold in the process or anything like that. And so there's an extra special step we have to take, which costs a little more for you. So in my opinion, if you're going to do a mailer and do a postcard is one of the cheapest ways and most efficient ways to do it. Now, when you're also talking about mailing, you have to understand what your, I guess, end goal is. Is your end goal to reach a specific customer? And when I say a specific customer, I mean like a specific person itself, like you have their direct contact, their address and all that kind of stuff. Or if it's a company, the company's name or anything like that. If you want to leverage different print and promotional products for your company, but don't know how to go about doing it, click the link below and let's schedule a free strategy session with me. And I'd love to help you guys out. Look forward to talking with you. Now that's a little bit more of it on the postal side because you have postage you have to pay. It is a lot more expensive to give an actual list with addresses, names, and all that kind of stuff to send to. And we can do that, obviously, no problem. We can do variable data printing. And when I say variable data printing, that means you can give a full list, like an Excel spreadsheet of 1,000 plus different names and addresses. And when we go to print out each item, it will manually put in each address. So this one will print that one, then the next one prints the next one, and it goes down the line. The other issue with that is now you're talking more cost because now you're variable the data, so that's an extra step in the process, and you have to use a specific machine that can do that. Whereas if you're talking a large quantity of just what is called EDDM, which is every door direct mail, you can actually just print all 50,000 or whatever postcards the same, because it'll just be, current customer or however you want to verbalize it to the household that's there. And the advantage to that is, one, you're cheaper printing because you're not having to do the variable data of the different addresses on each different piece. So now we don't have to use a separate machine or a certain machine that will print that, which is more higher cost for a longer run. And on the longer run, we could just print the whole same thing on every one of them, and it saves you a lot of money in that way. The other reason why it saves you money and the biggest reason is the postal postage. Again, as a print shop, we don't have any control over what the Postal Service charges on the postage, and we don't mark that up or anything like that. It's just whatever the charge is the charge that we have to put on there. But say for instance, if you're specifically sending to a direct list that you provide to us, typically you're talking like maybe 45 cents or so, 40 to 45 cents, somewhere, maybe 40 to 50, depending where you're sending to, the range and all that kind of stuff, to charge for postage. And also, did you have to spend money to buy that list? That's another thing to take into account, because unless you have a full database of all these people that you've kept within your own CRM program or whatever, if you don't have that already to provide, you're having to purchase a list of those, and you can get that from us. If you want to get it on your own, just provide it to us. But either way, you're spending money for that list. Whereas if you're doing the every door direct mail, compared to 40 to 50 cents on the postage, you're around like 20 cents. So half the cost, if not more, of the postage, and that adds up very quickly if you're doing thousands of pieces. And then on top of that, you're not having to purchase the list or anything like that. So that makes a big difference on your cost. And so, especially if you're trying to do bulk, it just adds up very quickly and saves you a lot in the long run. And how the every door direct mail works is, all you have to do, and on our website we have a way to get on here. We have a link to go directly to the Postal Service website. You can actually choose the zip code you want to do, and then it gives all the different routes within that zip code. And you just have to give us the route number specifically you are choosing. With that, you do have to do so say this route specifically over here has 573 homes in it. We have to send all 573 homes within that every door direct mail, or they will not take it. So that's also the difference. Whereas, if you give us addressing specifically, you could give us 1,522 it doesn't have to, meet a specific number, but when you're choosing the routes, we have to do the specific number that route has to make it work. That's the kind of things to keep in mind. Also, when we do it, again, this is just more on our end, nothing you necessarily have to do, but we have to bundle them in hundreds to make it easier for them. Now, again, one of those stacks, if it was the example I gave, the 573, one of the stacks would just be 73 in that. But again, that just makes it easier on the Postal Service. They can, package it a lot easier to then put together for the route. And that's basically how that all works. Again, it saves the most money to go that route, and you can still target certain customers. Like, so if you're targeting, let's just say specifically here for Florida, we have a lot of 55 and older communities. And if that's the type of customer base that you're going after, there's many of those. You can just choose the routes that have those 55 and older communities. Boom, send them the postcards directly to those routes with that same population that live there, and you're hitting your direct customer that you're targeting, and without having to pay double the postage or buying a list or anything like that. And it just saves a lot on the postage side of things in the long run. And that's, in my opinion, the most bang for your buck that you can get in the marketing and mailing side. And that's what I would end up pushing towards, and just to keep in mind for all these things. I hope this is the last one that we're doing on the series. So I hope that the different topics we put out there was helpful in any kind of way. And please, again, in the comments, if there's anything that we did not touch on that you would like us to maybe touch on, just to get a little more education out there for maybe other people. Maybe you figured it out on your own, but you could just tell us if it would be helpful for somebody else. I appreciate it. And again, as I always say, until next time, let's grow together.
It's time to step up, yeah, it's grind time, no more letting up, no, running faster, further, no more running up, yeah, giving my all, no more giving up, listen to me, step, it's time.